Hello, this is a video for everybody out there who is looking for some software to help them learn the kanji or Japanese vocabulary. The program that I'm using in this video is called zkanji or zkanji, whatever you want to pronounce it. The reason why I'm making this video is that, well, as you see, the program is quite complicated. I mean, you open it and there is so much stuff in there. And at first it's rather confusing and probably discouraging. When I first opened it, I felt like it'll probably take me a week to figure out how to use it. And I tried to look up some information, but I couldn't find anything, any tutorials or anything, so I decided to make one. And I haven't been using this program for very long, and I certainly don't know all its features, so most likely there are people out there who are much better at it than I am, but I'll just show you how I use it. So, first of all, here on the left, this is the kanji dictionary. You can search by meaning or by pronunciation. And by radical somewhere here, yeah. Then this part is about learning. And this lower part is a word dictionary, right? So here you search for the kanji and here you search for the words. Now, the things that you can learn by using the learning feature of this program can be kanji or it can be words. But I'm sure if you got to any level of Japanese, you should realize that you can't just learn kanji separately. You have to learn kanji as part of words. Well, this program offers exactly that. So, let's start with learning some kanji. So here, I'm going to delete it for now. Here I've got kanji for the JLPT level N4, and I have it because I've created this. I will show you right now how to create this. Let's say you want to learn the kanji for JLPT level N3. So first you need to get the program to show you the N3 kanji. This is where it happens. You tick the box JLPT level, and then you type in the number of the level that you want. It can be 2, 3, whatever, 4, whatever you like. Let's say I want kanji level N5. Alright, so this is quite beginner's kanji, right? Alright, so how do we do this? First of all, we go to kanji groups, here this tab, kanji groups, and we hit this plus sign. The new group will be titled N5, logically. So we create this empty group N5. Then we go to this field here and we select, shift click, or perhaps Control A, all the kanji in it. Or if you want to learn only the few first kanji in this level, of course, select only those. Or if you want to learn any particular kanji from this level, select only those. Alright, so then you right-click on any selected kanji and you say to group and you choose N5. Okay, so here you've got them in your group. Again, you can delete any kanji that you don't want here. I'm not sure how you do that though. But anyway, yeah, here, by clicking this minus here. Right. Or you can add any kanji this way. And you can also change the position of the kanji. Alright, Now, what's the key feature of this program is that you learn kanji not just by looking at them separately, but in combinations with other kanji when they form words. Right, so in order to do that, you need to go to word groups. Here, kanji groups, word groups. Create a word group. Let's call it N5 also. Right, go back to your kanji. Select all the kanji you want to learn from this group. Right click and say collect words. Alright, here you have some things to choose from. You can select which reading you would like to learn. In this, but the default is any reading, but you can also select which one, right? Then you select the group which you're going to add these words to. Okay, and in this case it's group N5. And this very important feature, minimum word frequency. So naturally, using those kanji, you can create a ton of Japanese words. Really, a lot of Japanese words. Even if you limit kanji to list. Limit kanji to list means that the words that you're going to learn will only contain the kanji from this list, nothing else. If you unselect this, it means that you will also be getting words that contain other kanji, such as, for example, this kanji grouped with some N6 kanji or N4 kanji or some other kanji. But even if you use only the kanji that are in this list, well, there are lots of words that can be made with them, and not all of those words are the words that you want to learn, simply because they might be slang, they might be something that is not used very often, or the opposite, they can be something very formal, very outdated. You don't want to learn all the words containing every single kanji, right? So the way to avoid that problem is to put in a big number here. The bigger the number, the more frequent the words that you're going to learn. So I put in 5,000 because this creates about maybe, well, for each kanji it's 5 to 15 words, right? If I put in something like 7,000, I'm not going to get some of the kanji. If I put in something like 2,000, I'm going to get too many words, and many of them won't be very necessary. Alright, especially if you're learning low-level kanji, it's likely that you're also needing low-level vocabulary, and there is no reason to put in a small number in frequency, because then you will be getting too much vocabulary that you won't need for several more levels. So, make sure that you put some good number here. Alright, let's see, generate list. Here we've got 943 words. So this is these kanji combined with other kanji. If we say limit kanji to list, then we will only be getting 345 words. Alright, that's already much fewer. Then, okay, so let's say you're satisfied with this number. Okay, this seems like a reasonable number. You are able to learn 345 words, especially if you practice every day for a couple of months. Alright, so I'm happy with this, and I say add words to group. Now in group N5, I've got all my words. Now there are more of them here because some words are included in many different meanings. Yeah, so this is basically one and the same word, but it has some different meanings. Okay, some of those meanings are something that you can find in your textbook. Others are something odd. Well, look through this list, and if you're unhappy with any words that you see here, you don't want to learn them. Maybe you don't want to learn this word in this meaning yet, or maybe you see a word that doesn't sound like something you are going to use ever in your life, such as copybook. Are you going to use copybook? Or police raid? Are you going to use that? Perhaps not. So remove any words that you feel you're not going to need. Alright, so let's click this, remove word from group. That's what you're getting. Alright, so let's say that you've removed everything that you don't like, and then you want to study this group. So you hit the button, study this group. It gives you a number of options. The order in which you are getting the words, how many words are included in each round. Yeah, in the first round the default is 3, and in every next round you are getting 1 more. Okay, how are you going to answer? Like, what are you going to be asked, right? So if you choose meaning, that means that you need to guess meaning from kanji and kana. If you choose kana, you're going to get the kanji and meaning. You need to remember how to pronounce it, and so on, right? It can be also random. So one word is given to you in one way and another in the other way. Then there is the matter of how you're going to answer. You can select 1 out of 5, or you can just think of the correct answer and then check the answer. And if you thought correctly, then you hit correct. And if you thought wrongly, you hit wrong. And in the next round, if you hit anything as wrong, those words are going to be presented to you again. Okay, and you can choose whether you're on the clock. So do you set yourself some limit for guessing the answer, or do you just want to think for how much time you like? For as much time as you like. Okay, also, depending on what you choose here, there are some different options here. Alright, so you can pick and choose. But let's say meaning. Okay, so then you click study. And here is your first round consisting of 3 words. So you look at them, and they're all agaro, which is a bit boring. No, let's do it differently. Let's do it differently. Okay, let's say reset, and I want them random order. Study. No, that didn't help. Okay, well, whatever. No, I want to cancel that thing. Reset. Random initial word order. Okay, let's try it. Oh yeah, that's much better. Alright, so you have hitotsu de ikiru. Okay, so you look at this for as much time as you want, and you memorize this. And then you hit continue. And you're getting the kanji and the kana. Now, what's the meaning? Ikiru. Okay, I suppose it means to live. Reveal the answer. My answer was correct, so I hit correct answer. There is a hand, so reveal the answer. Oops, I was wrong. In this case, it's a move. Yeah, that's why you want to filter what you're learning, right? So my answer was wrong, and I mark it as wrong answer. And hitotsu is 1. Reveal the answer. Well, okay, that's not that much difference. I'll decide that it's correct. Next round. Okay, so since one of those was wrong, I am not getting a new word in the next round. Right, so I'm still stuck with my 3 words. Okay, So let's see. Ikiru is to live. Hitotsu for one thing. And te is a move in shogi. Yes, I was correct. Okay, and then in the next round I will be getting also some more words. And you continue in this fashion. Okay, if you're sick and tired of it, you hit suspend, and you will continue this test whenever you want. Alright, so this is when you want to learn kanji. Well, you want to learn words based on kanji. But there are situations when you want to learn words regardless of which kanji go into them. For example, you're studying by a course book or maybe a phrase book, and you want to memorize the words that are in the unit that you're studying right now. So what you can do is you can create a word group, and you do that by hitting add new group here in word groups, normal, add new group. You put a name on it. So I'm currently studying by the book called Kirari Nihongo, and I want to memorize the vocabulary from the unit Ningen Kankei, which is human relations, human relationships, not HR, but relationships between people, you know. So I'll put in relationships. Okay, enter. So I've got this empty group, and I want to fill it with words that I want to memorize. Now, they are not in the dictionary yet. I mean, they are not as a group. I have them in my notebook here, so I'm just going to punch them in. Now the translations and the kanji and everything is already in the dictionary, of course. I'm just going to find them and select them. Okay, so let's say the first word in this group is ojigi, which means to bow. Okay, so I go to the dictionary part, and to remove the old word that was there, I just punch enter, and I type ojigi. So I type in English, but it converts immediately to hiragana. If you want to write in a katakana word, such as, for example, the living room is ribingu, right? Here you are getting katakana words. Just make sure that when you type katakana words, you are using the Japanese pronunciation of those words. Because if I started typing living, it's not going to look nice, right? I'm not getting the word. So it has to be R-I-B-I-N-G. You. Right? This is rivingu. Okay? So, but my first word is in hiragana. Ojigi. Okay, and here it is. So I right-click it, and I put it to vocabulary. And here I select group relationships, and I press OK. So here you see my word is added to my group. Okay, then here is another group that I have already created. This is Ie, the house, and I have all kinds of cooking and cleaning things in there. All right. If I want to study the group that I've filled with words, I just press study the group. And the same as with studying the kanji, you have all the same options, and it roughly looks really the same. Okay, now there are some things that you might want to do. One is you might want to edit the definition of the word. So sometimes the definition that the dictionary gives doesn't make much sense to you, or maybe it's too general, or maybe you know that in the context where you came across this word, it means something slightly different, right? This happens a lot. And you want to memorize it connected to the situation where you learned it, right? Not just some random definition from the dictionary. So what you can do is you can edit it. So you choose the word that you want to edit, you right click and choose edit. And here you can edit the definition and maybe add some flags, although most often you don't need to touch this area. Okay, this particular word I have edited. It only contained this information, but this word nurui, well, it's slightly different in Japanese. Like the meaning is correct, it's lukewarm, but well, if I think, if for example I put some water to boil on the stove, and I check it after a few minutes, and I discover that it's not boiling yet, right? I would say that it's still cold, right? But apparently for Japanese people, cold is not the default state of matter. Instead, you have to put things in the refrigerator to make them cold. And the room temperature is nurui. It's something that I wouldn't think of normally. So that's why I added this comment for myself. So when I'm learning this word, I know how to use it. So for example, if I want to boil some water and I check on it and it's not there yet, I can say mada nurui. So this way it's easier for me to remember. Now, once you've edited something, you press Save Changes. Okay, and you close the card. Another thing that you might want to do is you might want to add a new word to the dictionary. And, well, this is a pretty big dictionary, but, well, Japanese is a pretty rich language. And sometimes maybe your teacher will tell you some slang expression, or maybe you come across something in the book that you really like, but that's not in the dictionary. Also, quite often, you want to learn not the kind of initial form of the word, but rather some expression with it. Maybe the word in the potential form is more often used than in the regular form. Or maybe you want to add some expression that you're going to use with it rather than the word itself, right? So, for example, here in relationships, I want to add the word for I hope, like I hope so, right? And, well, if I just put in hope, oh, sorry, wrong way. Yeah, here you choose Japanese to English or English to Japanese. Okay, hope. All right. Yeah, you're going to find some words for hope, but those are not the words that they use when they want to say I hope, right? So I want to create a word. For that, I go to Word Results and I hit New Word. And here I have the kanji and the kana, right? Well, I don't know the kanji for this word actually, and well, if you know that there is a verb that goes into this expression and it has a kanji, you can just copy the kanji, but I will do without the kanji for now. So the expression is so negai taimon dane. Oh, sorry. Dane. So negaitai mon dane. And this just means I hope. I hope so. Like with an exclamation mark, right? So I'm just copying it here and I'm saying I hope so. Right? And I mark that it's an expression. Okay? And I suppose it's colloquial. Well, whatever. You don't have to mark it, it's just to show you back when you're reviewing this word. Okay, and you click Add Word to the dictionary. And now you look for I hope so. Here it is. And you add it to your vocabulary. There it goes. Now notice these symbols here. There are yellow arrows and a red cross. And also there are those gray triangles. Those show the frequency of the word. See, it says different frequency. This is, a red cross is a 0 frequency. This means that in this dictionary, this word does not appear in any examples. Or this one has a pretty good frequency, 2000 and something. And this one has a really good frequency, it's almost 4000. Alright, so if you don't know which word to choose, the higher the frequency, the more chances you have to choose the right one. So if you put in some English word and you're looking at the results in Japanese and you don't know which word you want, choose the one with the highest frequency. Maybe it's not the correct one, but your chances are better than if you choose the one with 0 frequency. However, sometimes some of these words are really used quite often, they just don't appear in this dictionary all that much. Okay, so that's how you use this program in order to learn your kanji and your vocabulary. There are two things that this program does not do, unfortunately. One is, well, you can't review a word in its form. So, like, there is a default form, such as, for example, something like yuderu or wakasu or waku. Hi. Waku means to become hot, yeah, to boil, right? But very often you want to use waiteru, meaning that something is hot or is boiling. And sometimes you need that continuous form more often than this form. For example, with words like kawaku, to become dry, or nuru, to become wet, you're more likely to need to say that something is dry or something is wet, saying kawaiteru and using the continuous forms. However, in this program, you can't add words in here in the continuous form unless you create a dictionary entry with that word in that form. So that's a bit inconvenient. And the other thing that it does not do is you can't schedule your practice. So, like, there are some other programs for learning languages which would pop up once every few hours and ask you, like, translate 5 words, translate 10 words, and so on. This program does not do that, so you have to exercise your own will to remind yourself to open it and do the the training. Well, I just create some reminders in my planner to do that, but maybe they will add such a feature in the future. Alright, please, if you have anything to add, write it in the comments, and I hope that you learned something using zkanji or zkanji. Bye!